Well, that
Um,
sounds like a wonderful
That sounds like
prize.
no matter what, we will be compensated.
Exactly.
so I'm gonna have to go home and pick up some things. But if you want to explore the town, you're more than welcome. As Fleep said, don't steal from the homes, and they have a very strict policy of in the city limits, no fires. After the great incident of 3 years ago, and
Where
he
your
gestures to
accident,
his wings and lack
Ah.
thereof.
I will not light a single flame, and I shall not touch the houses unless absolutely given permission by their owners.
Can we find a place to rest, if even outside of the borders, and he can come and meet us there?
You can camp down anywhere you like. I will find you.
I will find you.
Shall we find ourselves a place to camp down for the time being until he comes back?
It sounds like the best plan, yes.
Okay.
I'm going to examine the houses of the gnome size.
I'm just gonna follow along there, that's because I'm curious.
I am curious about those houses as well, because obviously, if they're
Right.
vacant at the moment, maybe we could use them.
Can I go and try and brew some beer without using a fire, or getting out of the way so that I can do one without a fire?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to do that then.
I will.
It explodes, so it's kind of
I will come back to you in a moment about that.
Okay.
Everybody who's exploring, do you just sort of? I'll wait for that bus to go past.
Yep.
Are you
Welcome
just gonna,
to Harlow.
Are you just going to wander off, or are you going to sort of follow Quill where he goes and then wander off, or what are you guys
He said
doing?
he's got to go home, so it's like, well, you know, he's got shit to do. So,
I mean, he's
I'm
welcome to
going
show
to-
you to his home, but
well, after we've investigated these big people houses.
okay.
Well, at least that's what I'm planning. I don't know about anyone else.
So you see Quill wanders off in a direction on the back of Spike. Or with Spike. And,
Here, Specky, Specky, Specky.
Spike comes running back.
I'm sorry, I just realized my
Will you
Rugrats.
stop that?
I just like, because I like the name Spike, especially when I was like in Rugrats. It's like, here, Specky, Specky, Specky. This is too cute. Okay, leave me alone.
No, we won't leave you alone. Let's go.
Ah.
and so you wander around the town, and as I say, all of the little pixie houses are up high in the trees. And strung between the trees are a web of thousands upon thousands of shimmering little nodes that are sort of brightly coloured and that glitter as the wind blows.
Metal Gear.
And they are
I
primarily
just heard someone say Metal Gear.
purples and blues and greens. And you head towards the few larger people settlements that are on the edge of Pleppil. Can you make me a perception check as you approach the large houses, by comparison, larger houses?
What are we doing here?
Perception check, please.
Perception check. Characters. Why did I close player characters? Perception. 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 That was on a good advantage. I don't care which one you take.
Perception check. It's gonna go really shit because I told ya, fucking Tommy's distracting me again. So
Tammy's braiding your hair again. Philippe and Theodas, you hear lute music being played. And Theodas, the tune, it sounds familiar to you.
Is it what I play?
I go immediately to it.
You open the door and you open the door and Riordan's in there.
So you head towards the music.
It is crunking.
And you come across
Bob.
Bob the chicken. Bob the chicken playing a lute.
Playing the lute.
Hello.
You
Crossover number 2.
You come across a Colombian-looking gentleman eating some cheesy thing.
How do?
You come to a small house that is a nice little cottage-sized house for somebody about 4 foot in height. And the tune playing inside, you're sure you've heard it before.
Riordan tries to play it every morning.
You've heard it being played much better than Riordan plays.
Oh, poor Riordan.
It is a tune of, well, if it's the tune you think it is, it is the tune of a ancient elven song about heroes of the old. And it's a great victorious song about heroes and their adventures.
Okay. I knock at the door of that cottage.
Are you serious?
And somebody greets you at the door.
How do?
By the way, hello.
Greetings.
I said, somebody
you've been
greets
doing
you
this.
at the door.
You've been doing this again, John,
And
aren't
I
you?
greet them.
Hello, cousin.
Hello, cousin. I'm just gonna wait here for a moment.
This is the most uncomfortable silence I've ever been in.
The crickets seem to grow louder.
Hi.
Somebody greets you at the door.
Yes, I greet them. I said it twice.
Hi.
I say hi. How are you?
How are you?
We're good, thanks.
What does this person look like? This is a question for you, John.
Maddie, what does this person look like?
Let me get the photo you sent me.
Please hold.
So cute.
I think I know what
There are
you're
currently
doing,
technical
John.
issues.
I think I know what you're doing.
That was Romad in character, by the way.
I really think I know. Do I recognize this person?
You don't recognize this person.
But I still think
But they
I know what you're
recognize
doing.
you.
Wearing a cloak.
You
Right, in
definitely
the meantime,
recognize the song
music.
that's being played.
It's a very, very good cricket that's chipping right now.
That's me. Use the power of you.
So in one hand, this person holds a lute.
That's a violin, I see.
Go with it.
Pretend it's a lute.
Pretend it's a lute. She doesn't have the other thing in her other hand. And her long
She has to spank somebody with it.
auburn hair is tied back with a green
Headband.
I do words. She's wearing a
I can word good, thanks.
She's wearing a yellow shirt with a leather thing over the top, and green trousers and boots.
You got green trousers and boots.
This is a song that seems familiar. Have we met before?
No, I don't believe I have, but I've studied this kind of thing for a while, so.
Seraphine, you were playing the tune of an ancient elf story of a great elven hero and his many adventures.
Well,
Yes, I do.
And you are confronted by an elf who says that he's heard it previously. This doesn't surprise you.
and a group of other people standing behind him.
And a group of other random people who are stood behind him, oddly silent, except for this one cat person who keeps going, "Hi."
I just kind of... I knock Theodas out the way and hold my hand out. Name's Torin. How do you do?
I take his hand in return and shake it. Nice to meet you. I am Seraphine Reese.
Seraphine. Pleasure.
I walk in and I'm
Just
just like,
fucking
what's
kick the
going on
door.
here? Going, hi!
If you attempt to
I'm here.
walk in, I shall point out the house is built for someone who's about 4 feet in height. So you are very much, very much. If you walk,
So he goes to walk in, he just...
Ignore what I just said there.
it's kind of you try to get into a Wendy home.
Okay. I'm just standing outside and asking what's going on. There we go. That's much better.
There we go, there.
I'm not paying attention. I started trying. What's going on over there? I'm just casually walking over. There we go. How's that for you?
There we go.
Fine. See? How you like that?
Hey, I done it, huh?
How do you like them apples?
Mhm.
So,
Shouldn't
yes.
you just kind of showed up on my doorstep.
Well, we heard your playing, so we came to investigate. Obviously, this is a pixie situation. We were just curious as to who was residing here currently.
Moment.
One moment. Un momento.
I have like an echo when Mandy speaks, so I can't understand a thing.
Because
We're happy and longer if you feel like
I said I'm the only one home at the moment.
anyone home?
So she says she's the only one home at the moment. If anybody else is having difficulty hearing Maddie,
No, I can hear Maddie.
I'm going
I can
to.
hear Maddie phone.
Hopefully, it'll be better.
Seraphine, you are in a pixie village of Plepp.
The most ridiculously named village of all time.
It's a fun name to say. On the island of Chult, in the south of Toril. You are looking for, amongst other things, great treasure and hidden villages, and particularly of interest at the moment is a local legend of a well of wishes.
Oh!
How much of that you decide to share with these random strangers who have just come bolting up to your front door and... Your music's good!
Somehow now know everything anyway.
Would you like a cheesy bastard?
I just look around a bit disappointed, also.
Well, yes.
Like my music.
So what? Yes, we liked your music. What brings you to this part of the unpopulated jungle?
Here, that's a start. But just kind of wanting to I don't know, find my way in a way.
Hmm.
Interesting.
I hear you twice.
That's why you guys are here, other than, of
Ah,
course,
I see.
wanting to hear me play.
They're just looking for things, and I'm just basically here.
Well, currently, we have been taken on by Quill, the pixie, to try and find the Well of Wishes.
I know Quill. Cute little guy.
Yes, unfortunate his predicament.
Snake.
Snake! I'm gonna.
Screams like snack.
So I've muted that now. That should no longer be a problem. So.
Hopefully, Snake doesn't need you for the rest of the night.
I'm just gonna open my phone up. It's gonna be the mission's failed. Where were you?
Time paradox.
So, yes, that's what we're currently in Plepp for, at least.
Say that. Quill came to me about the same thing.
Well, this is awkward.
And did you never found it with you?
In spirit, I send a message to them. Ask her to come with us. We
Really?
can use a hand.
I put my fingers to my temples and I think real hard. That's kind of what we're gonna try and do.
Good.
I just watch them and they have
Metagaming
those really
alert.
hard thinking faces on, and I'm just like, are they okay?
I'm
No.
just rubbing my spoon, trying to communicate with them.
No, we're not okay. Anyway. Oh, so we're both on the same. We're all on the same mission, really. So, so have you two tried looking for it? Or were you brought here and then you had to go and do something or something? I'm spitballing here.
Careful now.
We've tried a couple times, but so far it's been no luck. I think it's more of a case that we're looking in the wrong place, or we just don't really have the skills that are required to find it.
Fair enough. Well, maybe multiple, maybe a lot more eyes will cover the work, if you will. So, if you're willing to accept company as well as Quill's already accepted our company, obviously, but
I love how suave you're trying to sound.
I'm suave as fuck, mofo.
Oh yes, yes, suave as fuck.
Asking me if I want to join you guys.
I'm totally dope, y'all.
Oh god.
You guys.
I'm
Company. Other than Quill.
sorry, we're
Well, if you're gonna come here and like we are good company, but this thing over here, pointing at Tammy, just if you've got any good good old things that's to cover your ears, then you're welcome.
the pixie talks a lot.
Going along with that, ask whether she can teach how to play musical instruments.
Can you teach how to play musical instruments, by the way?
Because we have an annoying member who
I
doesn't
suddenly
know
have
how.
Strange need to ask this question.
Depends on the instrument. I mean, I am
Well,
I'm a bard, so
Well, some wind instruments, really.
try.
You can try. She can try!
One of you needs to pick up the message spell at some point.
Well, that's down to a magic user, not me.
Torin, Kaboom, Torin, Philippe, and Romad, can you all make me insight checks, please?
You make an insight check. God, John, why do you keep telling us to do things?
Because I'm the DM.
Kind of his
DM.
job.
Nope.
Oh,
Blimey.
Inside.
I can see everything.
Romad, it's seated on something.
Oh.
He's all frozen like, oh shit, I'll say something.
Romad, in your bumbling around in the background, you see that
Notice something no one else did.
Somebody shoots into the actual conversation. It's like, hey, guess what, guys? I know something.
I know something you don't know.
you see, and nobody else does, that Theodos is looking quite upset at the moment.
Oh, Theodos, are you okay?
I'm fine. Yeah.
Would you like to move away for a bit? We could talk if you want. Let's.
Yeah, if you need a moment, buddy, go and...
Yeah.
Till I just darts away, not looking back.
I follow him.
Sorry about that. He's...
Didn't do anything to upset him at all.
To be perfectly honest, I'm not sure. So, I mean, we've been traveling for a while, but we've kind of all been hired, but we're all our own agency, if you will.
Meanwhile, on the outskirts of town...
Diddle-a-doo, diddle-a-doo, diddle-a-doo.
Ben, make me a check with your
Brewing.
brewing supplies.
Please fail. Please fail.
He puts fire to the whole town.
I just want us to be having this.
Everything.
I just want us to be having this relatively calm conversation. Then there's a.
You start.
Not me.
You start stirring the equipment up, and you get all of the ingredients in, and you think you've got it going. It's going to take a little while for it to brew.
I just love that you think.
You're fairly happy with how it's going.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, whilst I'm alone, can I try and play my ocarina?
you can make a performance check.
Make it quick because I'm coming.
You start playing, and you start playing a song.
You start playing a song of an elven warrior.
Of an elven warrior and his ancient exploits.
Oh, God.
Just as he escapes that song that's reminded him of something horrible, he goes somewhere else.
And he goes back to it.
Oh, please say the theatre turns up halfway through. What the hell? You can play?
And you are playing an amazing performance of it. This is... If only there were people here to hear it, they would applaud you in your excellence at the flute.
Oh, come on!
Ben.
There's one crotchety old pixies,
Then why do you wake us up with the shittiest music possible, and when you're alone, you play fucking symphonies?
You have an elf who hates music. That's
I
music.
have a fear
You
of
could swear that
performance.
there were other instruments taking over the right parts, and you were playing this full performance of this amazing song. Anyway, we're going to cut back to the action of Theodos walking off and Romad following.
Yeah, I'm going to be a bit alone, I think, because Tanya said she was coming back.
Then we will not do that thing, and we'll go back. We'll wait for Tanny to return for that
Come
line.
back to me. I'll do a monologue on why can't I.
Yeah, you do a monologue.
Oh. I don't
Soliloquies are
play.
fun.
I really
To
don't
play.
understand.
Or not to
Why
play.
is it? Why is it that
I'm
I'm
back.
by myself?
Please,
No one else.
back to that bit.
And now we'll go back to Theodos
Be
and
good,
Romad.
Have I caught? Are you still running, Theodos? What's going on? What did I
Theodos,
do?
are you running, or are you walking with purpose? Are you sprinting?
I'm walking with the purpose of getting the hell out of Plep. Maybe to go towards Ben, but I don't know where he is exactly.
So he's walking, so you can catch up with him.
Yeah, Romain catches up to him and he's like, "Hey, wait up!" and he walks at the same pace as Theod as he's like beside him now. What's up? Why did you run away though? Is there something on your mind though?
It's nothing. It's just false hope.
What do you mean false hope?
I've been looking for someone for very long now, and I thought it was it.
Oh, can you tell me who this person is?
I show my engagement ring.
Oh, I see.
She disappeared years ago, and I've never been able to find her.
Is this the reason why you're here though? Or do you? Is this how? Romad's having difficulties.
Romad is having issues with emotions.
Romad got the XE has stopped working.
So, is this the reason why you're on this mission then?
Yeah, I mean, she may be here, and I picked this mission so I could maybe look for her at the same time.
For one, I'm willing to help you out. Just always know that I'm always here for you.
Theodore stops, really surprised.
Of all people.
And suddenly you just walk into the back of Theodos Romad.
Doink. You always think I want talk. I just like my own sounds like scream like God fucking tell him out of the sky. Alright, so look, I know I don't mean these things to you. I know my behaviour towards you has been
Shit.
you know, shit, yes. It's kind of I honestly, you know, I can't understand where you're coming from, and I'm really sorry for my behaviour towards you.
I extend my hand. Well, let's be friends now.
Yes, and I shake his hand.
Too much emotion. Cut back to Ben.
Ben! Ben, you've just finished this great symphony and no one was there to hear it again.
Except for the crotchety old pixie. That's alright.
I don't know. I just lament to myself that I can never play in front of other people, and they always seem to put me so far down.
And now we'll cut back.
I say stop with the emotion.
Dear God, where's the fun gone?
I don't know. I'll come back to my theories.
Cut back to me and the new people having a sick breakdance competition.
We'll cut back to Tor and
so.
Vasudasagiesh and Philippe and Seraphine.
Oh, you just missed the breakdance competition. Oh.
No!
God damn it.
Yeah, I'm sorry about him going. I'm hoping, obviously, we'll check with him soon. But yes, if I don't know what we're talking about now.
You know me joining you guys?
Yeah,
Really?
well, more eyes, the better to find this thing. So, apparently, Quill's gone home for the night, so bright and early, I think. And by the way, I don't think I've really, either I've not been listening or something like that. Okay, what is she?
Oh, she's a gnome.
She's a gnome.
She's a cute gnome! So adorable!
So this is like fucking.
You're all looking down on me.
This is fucking ridiculous because I'm like a fucking
You're
nearly
7 foot tall.
I'm a
She's about
7 foot tall dragonborn.
she's about 3.5 feet tall. In the front of
It's
the
half of the size.
Yeah,
in the home
I'd
built
offer-
for somebody
I'd
of
offer
that
you to
height.
stay at my place,
I've not gone in. I'm outside. Otherwise, it would be utterly ridiculous.
You
Like
would be sitting down,
me,
basically.
my knees tucked up under my chin.
I mean, you can kind of lean on the roof and like look into the second-story window.
You can go in. You've just got to lie down on the floor and curl up in the corner,
like a
and then there is no more room for anyone else.
Well, yes. Well, we've got to try and find somewhere to bed down for the night. So we'll.
you to stay at mine, but
I'd probably break the ceiling.
Alright then, sure.
Either way,
Torin
Well, can-
Vasudasergiesh starts wearing a gnome-sized home.
my one arm's out one window, one arm's out the other.
Oh, it's Alice from Wonderland.
I'm just standing outside my head, shaking my head, thinking I knew I shouldn't have answered the door.
Look what you've done now. What have you done?
No, I didn't do that.
Did you do?
I mean, if outside
So you
know us or talk to us or whatever.
You return to Riordan's camp that he's set up. And
I return to Riordan.
You find him lamenting the fact that he can only play when no one's around, and he's got...
I get there and I'm like, Jesus Christ, what's going on with everyone?
I'm not just staring at my spoon.
He's staring at his spoon, and the brewing
honestly
supplies
a
are
really
going.
sad sight. It's a really sad sight, guys. Like I'm boiling my eyes out here, man. This is sad. This is so sad.
And meanwhile, the night continues to fall outside, and you see in the distance the crows that were flying around, like they're doing the military maneuvers.
I'm just assuming that Romad and Theodas has returned back to the area, unless they're still out and about, like talking in an area.
That's up to you guys.
What do you think, Theodas? Is Romad and Theodas like still hanging out for a bit before going anywhere else?
I think first, Theodas has no fucking idea where Riordan is. And two, I think they're still out. I don't think they've returned yet.
So Theodas and Romad are wandering the night under
Having an old chat. We're like learning. We're like talking about like what's up with each other.
the bright lights of Plep. You can.
I eventually get back to the campus and is Torin kind of like lamenting it, and that was why my 4th grade PE teacher was such an asshole.
And Theodas has learned that Romad was the prostitute and still is.
You see
True
that
story, guys, he is.
you see the crows that were flying around doing the military maneuvers have gone back into their roosting spots, and they've now been replaced by another group of pixies, a different group of about 6 pixies, riding on the back of bats.
Ooh!
That do the night watch.
Impressive.
I do the night watch.
But the whole of Plep is lit with these purple and green and blue lights that are strung from the trees, so you can see still at night very clearly.
It's a romantic evening.
It's a very nice evening. It's not too warm. It's not too
while
cold.
you two are having your stroll.
While Romad and Theodas wander through town, Theodas explaining his lost love, and Romad explaining the many lovers that he took for coin in the old days.
And the new days, for that matter.
And several more recent days. Meanwhile, Riordan mopes on the outskirts of town, claiming that nobody can ever see him perform his instrument. And Theodas is upset about something else, I'm sure. And Philippe is playing with a ball of yarn, I guess.
I'm just playing. Nah, I'm just playing around running around the roofs. Yeah.
Touring is sat there going, what the fuck's wrong with everyone?
Is it the full
When did
moon
we
or what?
suddenly get so emotional?
All fucking people, I should be the one emotional here. Fucking hell.
Ask the spoon.
And eventually, you all settle in for a night.
Hmm.
And
Eventually, we finally find
when eventually Theodas gets back, I was like, yeah, right, you're right. You had a bit of a moment there.
No, I'm fine.
eventually, Theodas and Romad's wandering round the town circulates out to where Riordan has made his camp.
God damn it, it's been 3 hours.
Just as dawn breaks, you come back into camp.
And at the crack of dawn, you are awoken by Quill, who shakes... I don't really know who he shakes awake, but let's go with
Not me,
Romad.
because I've got Tammy doing that.
Oh yeah, Tammy's shaking Romad awake, so...
Tammy is now the new bomb. She's like, holy morning! She doesn't swear, she just says, holy morning! There we go, guys. There's your new...
Theodas, Quill shakes you awake. And he and Seraphine are at the edge of your camp.
I'm still asleep, apparently.
I open my eyes because I meditate, so I'm
And
still
then
very aware of
Philippe and Riordan and Turin Batsuda Sergiesh are all awoken in turn.
Yay.
Yes, I'm awake. Yes.
How is my
You had a nightmare about Spammer saying, "Don't steal my stuff."
How's my brew doing?
Your brew is doing fine. It's brewing.
Your brew has been completely drunk by the pixie who was watching you.
The crotchety old pixies.
They were watching him sleep. They watch him sleep.
Yep.
God, that's creepy.
And Quill pulls out from a sack a large platter of food on a huge leaf and holds it in front of himself. And it's assortment of various berries and vegetables and fungi.
Oh.
And he gestures to a few rather large sacks that are at the edge of your camp and says, I had to sell off some of my remaining decorations, but I got us everything we should need to get there.
Wait, what?
Oh.
You did that?
And you see inside the bags are food, and in one of the bags are dozens of marble-sized clear spheres of water.
Mm.
And he plucks one out and says, look, they work like this. And he puts it in his mouth. And then immediately after popping it, just... he spits out a lot of water.
That's a lot of water.
This should
So
be
you don't need
enough.
to worry about saving water.
That's a great inserting item. Oh, you did not just say that.
Oh, thank God.
You did not say that.
Ben, no. You are not doing it again. No.
I honestly have no idea what's going on right
It
now.
goes against
Don't-
your teaching.
Don't worry about it.
It's way better than you don't know about it.
I was just saving water.
No. Stop it.
Honestly, I was thinking of a really, really dirty joke.
It is.
Don't
You
worry. Don't
disgust me.
worry about it.
I was thinking of a really dirty joke with that.
E-
with the
even
wall thing.
even John is completely horrified at the idea.
I'm assuming this has happened at MCM, right?
No,
No,
this is
no.
our
Hey,
role-playing
Mike,
game.
Paddy, me and you together, brofist.
I'm fucking grateful it did not happen at MCM.
We'll tell you all about it, but not now.
Yeah, we got viewers. We can't do that.
So you set off, and Quill
Onward for great justice
Quill,
Have I got drinks?
with our new friend.
Quill explains that it should be about 3 days of travel to get to the well.
Ah.
I try to be the nicest to the new friend because I feel like shit because I darted away.
Do I have beer?
You have the start of what will be beer.
Okay, and it's still brewing, is it?
It is still brewing as you go.
And I can carry it with us.
Probably.
It's got, I know, like a flask, and it's just like brewing away in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of reasons here.
So while you walk, Theodos and Seraphine, you get a moment to chat.
Oh, does that mean chat away?
That means I'm going to give you a moment to chat. You've got
Okay.
3 days. I'm not going to give you 3 days to chat because, you know, we've got things to do and
Well, first of all,
family to see.
It all started when I was 12.
it all started when I was born.
So
Oh,
such
shit.
a long time.
So yeah, I just like we're on horses or not? That's a question.
No,
I
you're
completely
walking.
forgot.
Okay.
Okay,
Except
I just-
for Quill and Tammy, who are on Spike's back.
porcupine.
They're all just screaming. They're like jumping. Like Tammy's like having the time of her life. She's
Yeah,
like,
yeah. They're just chatting endlessly again.
Dear fucking god.
It continues. They just are asking each other questions the whole way there.
I just go next to Seraphine and be like, sorry for the poor introduction on the first day.
No, honestly, it's fine. I thought I maybe did something wrong at first, so I apologize
No.
if I upset you in any way.
It's not your fault. It's a long story. My name's Theodos. I don't recall that I have been introduced to you.
Seraphine. That's my name,
Okay.
Seraphine.
You both do.
Torin, you said something, but I didn't hear shit.
I think I'm the only person who did introduce himself.
Could you tell me how you came to learn that song?
I'm a scribe, so I've read a lot of ancient texts and stuff, and I'm also a bard, so I'm kind of gifted in a certain sense in music, so often I've played a lot of stuff and spent a lot of my early life just learning all this stuff, but I learned that song as of recently, actually.
Did someone teach it to you?
Actually, now that you mention it, yeah. She didn't so much teach it herself, but I got the music or the notes or something from a friend.
I just look at Theodos concernedly.
Could you describe me, that person? If you have any.
Me. And there are many of them in this town, so she was closest friends.
Did she live long ago?
Probably a month ago now.
And
Explain why, but she did leave me a note.
do you still have this note?
I left it back at my house, so I do not have it on me, but
Meanwhile, a moth has just invaded my room and flown straight into the light bulb.
Was that the ding? Was that the ding I heard?
No. There's a softbox over the light, so it couldn't actually hit the light itself. It just kind of went.
it's boring.
Right.
But
The way.
you're more than welcome to, if, once we get back from this.
Yes, please.
her as well?
I might.
I'm just staring at Theodas more externally. Sad face.
I thought I was your favorite.
And I thought I was your favorite. I'm sorry. Do you need a hug?
No. I just need my wife.
I'm gonna draw that.
He drops his knee into the jungle, dreams into the...
What's your wife's name again, by the way?
Renala. Renala Laura Karen.
We have to type that in the in our
Yeah,
Discord.
okay.
Like my one though, called Emperor. God.
So on the third day
Of this bitch. I mean, what?
of this journey,
Okay.
Wow, we're already on day 3.
time
We
passes.
fucking run.
Around
That's
midday
this-
on the third day, normally I'd make you make a perception check, but this is loud enough that you can hear it without even doing that. Even Romad.
Now that's loud.
You hear chanting and the sound of metal clanking against metal.
I think we just come across a battle.
What the
guys.
fuck is going on up there? Warhammer out immediately.
Does anybody speak
Nice.
Goblin?
I actually do not.
Let me
I don't believe so.
No, I don't.
check.
Nope, common draconic.
I know I speak a few languages, but I can't remember which
Common, primordial. Elven.
language. I know.
Didn't
I
Romance speak
Speak
comprehending
Scots.
language?
Does that count?
I speak Abyssal, but not Goblin.
So,
I speak Ho.
Me either.
so you hear a loud clattering and speaking in a harsh tongue that you don't understand.
Wait. I've got this spell scroll we had last time.
I think he asked where are the toilets.
Something about a hovercraft being full of eels.
Wait, hang on a second. I think they meant there were. Oh, actually, no, I can't make this joke. I'm not even that-
Where is the train
John.
station? He said.
John,
Yes.
John,
would the comprehend language spell scroll work?
It would help.
Then I'm gonna use it.
You find out he's saying my nipples are exploding with the.
so here it was. Barbecue sauce on my nipples.
Shit.
Could you guys all make me stealth checks, please?
Oh dear, shitting Christ. Hold on, disadvantage.
I am being stealthy.
Nope.
I'm not even gonna.
We
I'm
just
standing there. I'm not doing the selfie, okay?
we
I
just
am
chatting
shit at
between
it.
us, trying to
Yeah.
to make proposition about what the hell we're hearing right now. So we're not discreet as fuck.
And how do I make a stealth check? Again?
If you click on stealth in skills.
There we are.
Yeah, we kind of chatting with, among us, saying, he said that. No, he said that. But you're morons.
Well, it's fine. My goblins are dumb as shit.
Thank God they didn't have an advantage.
You all stealth back into the jungle very noisily, and you hear
We just like hurried in. We just hurried out again.
We're all losing our
Like,
pants for some reason.
We managed to like step on every twig, and somehow there's a metal bucket there.
I
We
mean,
kicked
largely Romad just kind of holds his hands out and is like, I'm a tree.
I'm a tree. I'm a very
Yeah.
big tree.
And Goblins be like, oh, a big tree.
And
Look at that weird-looking tree. It's like,
Fucking fuck you! I'm a beautiful tree.
basically, we'll go over to this map.
Ooh. Oh, there's Iku.
Ooh,
Iku is here.
fancy.
And also, I haven't actually added this one just yet, but
Ooh, they're numerous. Ooh, are those shaman?
oh, yeah, I forgot about the special goblins.
and so a crowd of 6 goblins with 2 clear leaders moves past.
Did I got my HP back from resting?
Yes, you'll all be at full health. Theodos, if you cast Comprehend Languages,
Yeah.
you hear them speaking in a language you now understand is Goblin.
I figured because you asked us if we would.
It's
spoke
fairly
Goblin.
simple, really.
So will they not understand it forever, or is it just for some time?
It's just for, I believe it's either 10 minutes or an hour. It's
Oh,
I'll look it up. Keep going.
yeah,
yeah,
enough
sure,
time
if you
to
could.
enough time to exchange insults.
It basically allows you to understand the exact meaning of the words that are being said by the goblins, and basically they are saying that it's not they are complaining about how far it is to get to the well, and they hope their leaders add another group to the rotation soon.
So I just turned to the others. They're going to the well as well.
Can I try something to
Comprehend
try to
language
make
lasts
sense
for an
with the
hour.
words? Can I try to make a roll to try to understand a bit of their words myself?
No, you
No,
Okay.
I used a spell scroll for that.
Yeah, but to try to run it bit by bit.
Can
sorry,
we
how long
try
does it
and
last
follow
for?
them then?
He said an hour.
1 hour.
So yeah, for the next hour, you completely understand any spoken language, and any language that you run your fingers across, you can
We
understand
can't
the written
insult him
language.
anymore.
They say they are going to the well as well.
Shall we follow them then?
They don't seem to know where it is though.
They are complaining about how far it is to get there.
Are they complaining how
Yeah,
their
that,
feet
seems that seems to imply they do know where it is.
Yes, exactly.
Well, let's follow them then. They seem to be so shit at spotting people that we could follow them in plain sight.
Me
Even
going, along,
Romad.
me going along in my chainmail, clank, clank, clank.
They just think we're new recruits, that's all.
I'm just literally just walking on loads and loads of twigs and just making loads of just twig noises, breaking.
Roger, Roger.
Roger, Roger.
Okay, if you are
Roger.
going to stealthily follow them, I'm going to ask for another stealth check.
Oh,
Hooray!
advantage.
But we're already stealthy.
We get the opportunity to do better.
Remember me! I scream.
Ooh, nice.
Actually, Romad did better.
I did better.
I'm just gonna stand right there and not move at all. I've had enough of this. I can't do it.
You're a tree.
I'm a tree.
I climb a tree to go from tree to tree to not be spotted.
Sadly, once again, Tanny is noticed.
Romad is pissed.
I mean, it's
Well,
just
that is
standing
pretty-
there saying I'm a tree, but then you start walking saying I'm still a tree. So,
Still a tree. Still a tree. My voice is going for it. Still a tree. Still a
and
tree.
then like, wait, trees don't walk.
Rumal kneels down and decides he's a shrub instead.
Would
It's a
anybody,
fake.
before we get into combat, would anybody like to rearrange the marching order you are currently in? As
Yeah,
I
I go
literally just
more
randomly
front
put
forwards.
you in it.
I'm fine with where I am.
I go more front forward.
Gonna move back a bit.
Like,
I was a bit.
There you go, join me. Okay.
I'm fine where I am. Right, yeah, fine.
By the way, Theodas, can you talk to them with the scroll?
Hey, fuckers! Yeah, I can find it.
Oh, but as soon as you cast the spell from the scroll just.
I think it's a good idea that we keep one alive just in case.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, if we keep one alive, they can tell us where it is.
But
just saying.
please, no, Ben, no, Ben, no, no.
Right, keep one of the leaders alive. Go for it. Ah!
Oh, right. Initiative.
Initiative.
I understood. I understood straight away.
Initiative.
We can do an interrogation.
No. We
Oh,
can't.
God, where does this guy come from?
Just shopping.
Pay no attention to him.
Oh, he's the counter, is he?
Theodas, I made the same score as you. Do we reroll the initiative or?
No, I think John will do it his way. I think I might go first because I went first. We're still missing people.
Theodas shot
Hello,
first.
I'm popping in. Hello. I did my initiative.
13.
I
Badane.
have to do. I do initiative for my own character, for my Tammy. No, I can't. I got like.
Oh, I can do that.
Sheardus always shots first, but he always misses.
Yeah, that's the way of doing it.
So
And
Sounds about right.
we need Seraphine also.
Maddie, if you
And
can
initiative.
if you can select your character and then press where it says initiative at the top of your character sheet.
And then it explodes.
And then death happens.
So it should be in the middle of the character sheet, towards the top.
Just
Under
don't
advantage,
word
normal.
advantage normal, yeah.
Hey, actually, we're actually as numerous as the opponents this time.
Yay!
So do I have everybody now? Riordan, Torin, my goblins, Philippe, Theodas, Romad, Tammy, Seraphine. I think that's everybody, isn't it?
And so,
Oh, thank you.
Time is actually last.
EQ's sure up there trying to be last.
Lucky 7.
What, is Echo starting to fight again?
3 of them.
Echo remembered that she's here, so...
Mhm.
Enku will remember
Wait a
that.
minute. I am people.
I'm around!
I was here. Oh,
Torin Vasuthisagiesh,
She was actually a 3.
yes.
it is your turn.
Okie dokie. Okie dokie, okie dokie, madoki.
You can do the hokey pokey and you turn around, and that's the smile.
I charge forward. I turn. And I
Think you made a mistake.
unit, which is a 5
And
point
then
line
I
of
fall back.
and they must make a dexterity saving throw, I want to say. Yes, dex saving throw.
So, everybody in that line.
Everyone in that line.
Oh, trying to. Oh.
They're probably all going to succeed, but they're all going to get something.
Oh, wow.
What's the DC?
The flying goblins.
14.
Sorry, can you say that again?
14.
14. 2 of them make it, 1 of them does not.
So they take 2d6. Roll 2d6. Yeah, 5. So one of them takes full, one of them takes 2, 3. I can't remember.
I'll say 3.
And then, hang on, I'm just going to look at my stuff.
So you sprint up and release a... Apparently you put Romad to sleep, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That was actually
Roman's not bored being
relief sound.
Been there,
That
done
It's gonna be yawn.
was actually a relief sound from Torin.
I just
I'm
imagine.
so sorry.
I just imagine Thorin not using his breath weapon like very epic, like just he yawns.
No, it's actually. I enjoy it so much.
Romad is a very
That's why it's
sweet
only
boy
5
right now.
damage, you know.
And then also I'm going to, because as a bonus action I can do this, I'm going to cast Thunderous Smite upon myself so that my weapon does more. awesome shit.
And so your warhammer starts crackling with lightning.
He's going full Thor.
I'm going full Thor.
Riodan Ethrana.
Okay. I am going to run over here.
I'm going to run away.
Yeah, I'm going to run over here, which is a
And
full
run away.
45.
What? The...
And then I am going to get ready for just in case they decide to come and attack me.
Okay.
You're like in there. Don't watch me.
So you're
I'm
going
So
ready.
to
my quarter star.
you're going to take a defensive action.
Yes.
Awesome.
Spoon, protect me.
So this guy, which one are you? This guy.